Hello, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. Today is October 27, 2023. The time of this recording is 9:06 a.m. We're going to play another two of Baccarat with real cards. This video is going to be posted today about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time. And again, we have here the spreadsheet that I use to collect the data. Please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up to the video, so it helped me a lot. And like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can access all the scorecards in my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. The PDF files are there. You can download them in your computer. You can view them. You can analyze them there. If you want to support my channel, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/ Juan Carlos Monsalve. So we're starting right now. First, the card that we burn. In this case, is a 8 of hearts. We burn that card plus 8 more. So we have 8 cards plus the 8 of hearts, so a total of 9 cards. And I enter the information here. So there are some people that use this card for creating strategies. So I don't use it personally, but it's there. It's available. First hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 0 player and 4 banker. We the third card for player and we get a 0. So 0, banker has a 4. That was a banker hand, the first hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have the 6 player in the stand, 6 banker. This is a die, 6, 6. So the first die of the hand of the shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and 4 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now the natural 9 is on the banker side, so 0 player, natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 player and natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 6 banker. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 1 player and 3 banker. Player has a 0, so it remains at 1. And banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 4 for a total of 7. So 1 player, 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 1, banker 5. Third card for player is a 6 for a total of 7. And banker, when the banker has a 5, he gets a third card. If the third card of the player is anything from 4 to 7, so we have a 6. So we need a third card for banker, and the third card is a 3. So 7 player, and banker has 8. 7, 8, banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5 player and 6 banker. We need a third card for player, and the third card is 3. So total is 8 player, and because we have a player third hand, we don't excuse me, third card, we don't get any more cards for banker. So banker total is 6. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 0 player, national 9 banker. Okay. Here we can see the totals: players 3, bankers 6, and 1 tie for a total of 10 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5 player and 0 banker. We get a third card for both of them. And the third card for player is a 9 plus 5, that reduces to 4, and banker 7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and 6 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 1 player for banker. The third card for player is a 1. And because we get a 1, we don't get any more card for banker. So total is 2 player and banker 4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 1 player for banker. The third card for player is 0. So player 1, we don't get any more cards for banker since we have a 4 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now it's a natural 8 banker. So it is 1 player, natural 8 banker. Next hand, first card player, first card banker, second card player, second card banker. I have a 5 player and 0 banker. I need a third card for both of them. Player has a 1 plus 5 is 6, and banker has a 0. The third card is a 7. So 6, 7, and as you can see here, the scorecard 1, 2, 3. It has a strong first row only bankers. That's 6 bankers in a row. The second row is 4 bankers. Um, we are going to play hand number 17, and this one was a 6, 7, and banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, player 4, banker 4. Third card for player is a 3. Because we have a 4, we get a third card on banker 4 if we get anything from 2 to 7. So the third card for banker is a 3. So total is 7 player and 7 banker. This is another tie. So for a total of 2 ties on this this shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, Banker, zero player, zero banker. We get a third card for both of them. The third card for player is a zero, and banker has another zero, so it's zero, zero. This is another tie, the third tie of this shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have zero player, one banker. We get a third card for both of them. Player third card is a zero, and banker the third card is a two for a total of three. So zero player, three banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player three, banker zero. We need a third card for both of them. Player gets an eight for a total of one, and banker gets a zero, so it remains zero. So one player, zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a two player and three banker, two player, four. So two plus four is six player, and banker has a three, and he gets a third card. The third card is a five. So it's three plus five is a total of eight. So six eight. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have one player, zero banker. The third card for player is a two for a total of three. Player and the third card for banker is another zero, so it gets zero, three zero. Player hand again, and we started a chop uh, for the last four hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have four, three. Player four, three. We get a third. Excuse me, four, four. Both of them. Um, four plus two, six, and we have a banker four, and if we get anything from two to seven, the player third card, we get a third card for banker, and the third card is a nine. So this four gets reduced to three. That was another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player one, banker zero. We get a third card for both of them. The third card for player is zero, so it remains at one, and the third card for banker is a nine. So one, nine. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player four, banker two. Four plus eight is player two, and we have two banker. We need a third card for banker, and the third card is a six. So this two goes to eight. Two, eight. That was a banker hand. And while you are watching the video, you can look at what is happening with the scorecards. See how they are populating the information, and see, observe. You can observe things. This is something that the casino doesn't show you. They show you just only one or a few scorecards that I really don't understand. But this one is something that you can understand and you can follow. Okay, this one is a natural eight player, two banker. Next hand is a first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a six player and a stance, banker seven and a stance. So six, seven. That's a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker have a six player, five bankers, excuse me, five player, five banker. I need a third card for player is a three. And for the banker five, we only get a third card if we get anything from four to seven. So player gets eight, and banker stays at five. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, three player, and one banker. We need a third card for both of them. Player three zero, it remains at three, and the third card for banker is a zero, so it remains at one. 3-1 player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player four, banker zero. I need a third card for both of them. The player four plus nine it reduces to three, and banker gets the third card is a zero, so it remains at zero. 3-0. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, player four, banker one. We need a third card for both of them. Player remains at four, and the third card for banker is a three. Three plus one is four, so this is another tie. 4-4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, player five, banker one. I need a third card for both of them. Third card for player is a five, so it goes to zero. And banker has one, and the third card is an eight, so it goes to 9-0-9. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have two players, zero banker. I need a third card for both of them. The player remains at two with the zero third card that we just got. And banker has a one third card, so it's one. Two player, one banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, six player and stands, banker three, and he gets a third card and gets a one for a total of four. So six player, four banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have two player and seven banker. Banker doesn't get any more cards as a seven and stands, and player gets a third card and it's a seven. So two plus seven, that's a total of nine. And banker seven. Also player hand. We have three players in a row. We have total of players 14, banker 17, and ties four for a total of 35. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. After three player and one banker, player gets it. Both of them get their third card. So this is three plus eight. That's one player, and banker has one, and the third card is an eight for a total of nine. So 1-9, and that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker have a four player, banker has five. I need a third card for player is a two, For a total of six player. Banker has five, and we don't get any more cards for banker, so it is five, 6, 5. That's a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural eight player, one banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a two player, a natural eight banker. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player zero, natural nine banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player and one banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural nine player and zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Have three player, two banker. I need a third card for both of them. The three goes to seven player, and banker's third card is a two plus two is equal four. So this is a seven player for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now it's a natural eight player. Excuse me, one player, natural eight banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have two player, four banker. The third card for player is a five. Five plus two is seven. And banker has a four. He gets a third card if we get anything from two to seven. So we have a five. So the third card for banker is a two for a total of six. Seven player, six banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a four player and natural nine banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a six player, natural eight banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player, zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have seven player in his hands and banker seven. 7, 7. That's another tie. Total flies on this shoe is 5 out of 49 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a zero player, five banker. We need a third card for player, and it says zero. So zero remains at five, and because we have a zero player third card, we don't get any more cards for banker. So it is banker 5, 0, 5. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player zero, banker three. The third card for player is zero, so player is a zero, and banker gets a third card. He gets another zero, so it remains at three. So 0, 3. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 7, banker 0. It's a third card, and the third card is a 0. So player 7, banker 0. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural 8 player, and banker has a 5. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker, 2 player, so 2, 9. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 7 and stands, banker 5 and gets a third card, is a 0. So 7 player, 5 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have three player and 3 banker. The third card for player is a 9. So these 3 reduces to 2, and the 3 banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 1. So that 3 goes to 4. 2 player, 4 banker. Uh, Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. The banker has 7 and stands, player has 5 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 6. So 5 plus 6, so 1, and banker 7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 3 player and 7 banker. Banker 7 and stands, and player gets a third card. The third card is a 0. So 3, 7. That's another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 1 player, 1 banker. We get the third card for both of them. Player has a 7 third card for a total of 8. And banker 2 third card plus 1 is 3. So player 8 and banker 3. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 6 and stands, banker 2 and get a third card, that is a 3. So 6 player, total bank is 5. So 6, 5, that's a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 6 and it stands, and banker has 0, and the third card is a 6. So 6, 6. There's another tie for tie number 6. 26 players, 29 bankers, 6 ties, total of 61 hands. First card player, banker, player, banker, 1 player, 2 banker. The third card for player is a 2 for a total of 3 player, and banker gets a third card, and the third card is an 8. So total is 0. So 3, 0, that's another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player for banker. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player, we have 6 Six player and natural eight banker. That was a banker hand. Okay, we are playing hand number 65. First card for player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural nine player, five banker. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural nine player and four banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have one player and three banker. We need a third card for player, and third card is a zero. So player remains at one, and we have a three banker gets a third card, and third card is a three. So three plus three equals six. One six. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have one player, zero banker. We get a third card for both of them. The third card for player is a zero and plus one equal one. And banker remains at zero. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player and banker we have five. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a seven and a stance, and player has a five. Gets a third card. It's a zero. So five player, seven banker. We have a total of players 32, bankers 32, six players for a total of 70 hands. First card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player and also a natural eight banker. So another die. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have seven player in his stance, and banker has a one, gets a third card, and it's a six. So seven player and banker has a seven as well. So seven seven, two dice in a row for a total of eight dice on the shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have five player, six banker. Player gets a third card and it's a six. So six plus five is one player and banker. If the third player third card is a six or seven, gets a third card, and the third card is a zero. So one player and banker remains at six. So one six. Next hand, first card player. We got the third card, the cut card. So this is this one plus one more hand we will play. First card banker, player, banker. A player has a one and gets a third card, and the third card is a two. So six is equal three. And six plus seven, 13 means three. And because we got a two, we don't get any more cards for banker. So it remains at six. So we will play the last hand of this show. Next, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have six players and a stance, and banker gets a seven. So six players, seven banker. That was another banker. Banker ended three bankers in a row. We play a total of 75 hands on this shoe. 32 players, 35 bankers, 8 dice, total of 75. Um, Remove the remaining of the deck. Remaining of the deck here. We'll shuffle this in a moment. So we go over the different scorecards. We have every 11. Let's see if we have any trends here. Two bankers here, four players, four players here, three bankers here, five bankers here, four players. Every 10, um, three bankers here, four bankers here, five players, three bankers. Every 9, we have here three players, three bankers, three players. Um, and every 8, I see here five bankers in a row, one player, two more bankers, four players here, three players here, three bankers here, three bankers here. Every 7, I see two bankers here, one tie, and five more bankers. I see here five players. I see here six players, three players here, two players here, two players here. Every 6, I see three bankers here, two players here, four players, three bankers, five bankers. Every 5, I see three players. I see 7 players here, three bankers, three bankers. I have here 5 players, one tie, another player, six players, four bankers. And every 3, I see 7 bankers here, four bankers, four players here, three players, three bankers, four players, and four bankers here, and every 2, I see here three bankers, three players there, three players up there, three players here, three bankers. Okay, that's what I see. You can interpret those scorecards any way you want. You can see how the shoe behaved on this last shoe. Um, just observe, see what others cannot see, and see if you can come up with your own strategies and see what works for you. This is the end of the show. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share the video in your uh, personal media, social media. If you want to support my channel, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com / Juan Carlos Monsalve. And thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.